Hey friends, it's Sean here talking about the July housing market update. Happy summer. Hope you're having a great summer. When it's hot outside, it's really hot. But guys, that's also the real estate market right now. There are pockets that are hot and then there are pockets that are not. So I want to really dive into the data, what's going on in the housing market this month, and stick around to the end because I also want to share with you what the psychology of sellers are in the moment because we are seeing a shift at the moment. And so, how is that affecting sellers? How do we think properly as a buyer and a seller in today's market? Okay, before we jump into the data, y'all, make sure you sign up for our monthly giveaway. Every month, you can save the same code and be able to put in for our monthly giveaway. And we're excited to be able to do that. So let's jump into the data. Let's talk about inventory. Hot topic, important topic. How many homes are available at the moment? And what you're going to see is we have 2,153 homes on the market. We have 2% more, 2.87% more inventory at the moment than we did this time last month. And here's the kicker though. This is 4 months in a row of inventory increasing. So last month, we had 14% more inventory month over month. In May, we had 12% more inventory. And in April, we had 33% more inventory month over month. So we're seeing 4 months in a row of increased inventory. And that is changing the real estate market right now. Under contracts, meaning pendings, we are down almost 2% from month over month. And so when you consider that we have almost 3% more inventory than month over month and 2% less under contract, it's showing you some houses are going to be staying on the market longer. And it's important just to price these houses right because of inventory increasing and under contracts actually going down. Solds also were down. So we're down 6.25% of how many homes closed. And I think this is where we start seeing when I said the market is hot in certain pockets, but then is not in certain pockets. You got to know what pocket you are in. Months of inventory. We're at 1.77 months of inventory. Yes, that is up almost 10% from last month. Historically, we know that's crazy low, though we are seeing the effect right now. As more months of inventory increase, we are seeing a little bit more closing cost assistance being given from some sellers. We're seeing higher days on market. We're seeing a little bit more competitive offers being submitted. So that's just a reality. Months of inventory. Days on market. So we have average days on market for everything is 44 days on the market, average days. Median is 21 days. The reason why I show you both of these is because average is going to be every single house on the market. The average is 44. That means a lot of houses have been on the market a long time, bringing that average down. Median being 21, I think is a little bit more of the accurate to say, hey, that's about what the movement on the market is. It's about 21 days for homes to go under contract. Average showings are down 6.83%. So we were just right at 3% or 3 showings per week this past month. Now, that's not drastically huge, but it is, right? Like, so April at this time, we were at 4 showings per week, and now we're at 3 showings per week. So less showings per listing. Though here's list to close price hasn't changed at all. Still 100.4%. So that means, yeah, less homes are selling. Yes, less homes are going under contract. Yes, higher days on market. But for the average home, it's still getting 0.4% over list price. So pricing is so important. That's what we're going to talk about a little bit later. Average sales price, this is very encouraging, is almost 600,000. So look at the increase. We were at 482 or 582 last month. Now we're at almost 600,000 this month. That means more higher priced homes have been selling. Okay, so that's encouraging to see that go up. All right, well let's kind of talk about what this all means to us. Okay, what does all this mean to us? And a part of this is seller psychology, because we do see a shift in the market. We do see that certain price points are just taking a lot longer to sell, and so that's why you've heard me talk about something called price anchoring. Right, you've heard me talk about that. You've heard last month, I believe, I talked about price low, sell high. Like, what does that mean for sellers? Price low, sell high. And so I wanted to bring you into, I thought, a great article. A colleague of mine wrote to W Top News. Okay, so WTOP News in northern about the Northern Virginia real estate market, and so this is what he says, and I thought this was helpful. So let's talk about this. He says many sellers feel as if they are entitled to a certain value, and when the market is changing and correcting, the only thing that matters is what a buyer will pay for a property. You also have to lighten up on expectations about what your neighbors got 6, 12, or 18 months ago. So I think what he's saying is accurate, is kind of what I've been saying. There's just a sense of, there's a feeling that sellers have. Of entitlement to a certain value. And we totally understand. This is your house, right? If you're a homeowner, this is your home. And you've seen what your neighbors have been selling for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months ago. And you feel so you feel so entitled to that number. It That's a hard thing to come off of, but sellers are going to have to come off of that feeling, because a home is ultimately worth what a buyer is willing to pay. So here he has a formula here: is how do you then know what to price it at to make sure that you put it in front of the buying clientele so that they want to pay that. So let's read it here. He says, here's the new pricing formula for sellers on how to decide list price. He says, think low, but expect results if you do. Okay, so think low and expect results if you do. In a very good market, you would try to determine what a realistic sale price is at that moment, right? And then you might create a list price about 5% above that realistic price. And he says the new strategy at the moment is, in a challenging time, is to create that realistic selling price and then subtract 5% for the list price. We know that buyers will still bid up a property and make very clean offers, but this is a way to better ensure that activity will take place on their property. So he says, buyers are still willing to bid up, and we see that average listed close price is 100.4. But this reminds me of just a statistic. Uh, if you have 3 to 4 showings every single month, and you have no offers after 3 weeks, then you're about 5% off on price. Now, if you have no showings at all, and you don't have an offer within 3 weeks, then you could be off 10%, right? So that's a statistic that's been true for a very long time. Though what he's saying here is, for a seller, figure out what the current price should be, right? Take comps from 6 months ago, find out what the value is at the moment, and then where do you put the home on the market? You subtract 5%. So subtract 5%, and then that's where you put the home on the market in regards to sale price. No one wants to do that. We totally get it. Though sellers need to sell, right? And so you got to sell smart. So I tell you that because if you're a buyer, well, the reality is understand where sellers' mindsets have been, and don't come in trying to be greedy and put 15% off of list price unless there are comps that support that. Okay. But if you're a seller, make sure you're thinking 5% lower than what you actually feel the value of the house is, because that's what's going to actually position you to sell the house. Well, I hope you found this helpful to July market real estate. But guys, just like I reminded you, the market's such a pocket market. So if you want to talk about where your home is, what pocket your home is, what the best strategy for your home is, let's set up a consultation. Okay. Let's talk about that, just so that you can make the most informed decisions going forward in the market itself. Have a wonderful rest of your July and see you in August.